Lately I've been in a Lord of the Rings mood, so I asked you what Lord of the Rings games you like and was reminded of War of the Ring. Although I've been meaning to try it for a while, when it appeared at my house I found it mildly intimidating. I was mildly concerned that it may employ some of the same mechanics that makes me dislike Risk so much. With my hopes and fears intact, I gave it a try. Naturally I decided to play the bad guys to try to destroy the Fellowship and keep Frodo from reaching Mount Doom. It's always a lot more fun to be evil. One of the elements I really enjoy is that War of the Ring can be won in multiple ways. The first way is the Shadow Team can win by corrupting the ring bearers. This feels very thematic, as while many large battles are occurring on the board, Sam and Frodo are on their path to destroy the ring. They are often hidden from the Shadow Team, but if they are revealed, the Shadow Team has the opportunity to corrupt them. The Free People player can also remove corruption by declaring their location in a Free People city or stronghold. Corruption can also be mitigated if members of the Fellowship give their lives to protect the ring bearers. Kinda pathetic. I love this aspect of the game because it feels very thematic, and even though there's a lot going on the board, you are still able to follow the progress and internal struggle of Sam and Frodo. And let me be honest, corrupting Frodo was one of the best parts of the game. The second win condition happens if the ring bearers reach the Crack of Doom with less than 12 corruption. Before they reach Mordor, Sam and Frodo employ hidden movement to get around the map. Each time they are moved, they are hunted by the shadow. If they are revealed, a hunt tile is drawn, and hunt tiles generally have negative effects and hinder them from reaching their goal. Once on the Mordor track, there are 5 movements they must make to win. The longer they stay on the track, the more corrupted they become. Each movement on this track is accompanied by a hunt tile, which can be even more dangerous. If they overcome this, as lame as it would be, they destroy the ring and win the game. Thematically, I like how the Mordor track is difficult to overcome and is really hard to know which team will win until the very last moment. The third condition occurs if the Shadow conquers Middle-earth. To do this, the Shadow player must conquer 10 points of Free People settlements. Point values are numbered on the board, but basically strongholds are worth 2 points and cities are worth 1 point. The cool thing is that the Shadow army does not permanently lose their soldiers, as they can always just cook up more. Even better, when the Free People soldiers die, they cannot be brought back, which makes it a lot easier to crush them. The fourth win condition is if Sauron is banished from Middle-earth. Now this one is not nearly as cool, as Sauron would be banished and I would also lose the game. However, this is accomplished if the free player conquers 4 points worth of Shadow settlements by the end of the turn. Overall, I think the win conditions are pretty solid because they do offer multiple routes to win the game while at the same time thematically making sense. The general game flow is dictated by event cards and action dice. Each player gets 2 stacks of event cards, one is character-based and the other is strategy-based. These event cards give specific perks and powers that might help you decide your strategy. They can also be used to give the edge during combat. Once the cards are used up, they are gone, which I didn't think would matter, but I ran out of cards by the end of the game, so they are best used wisely. I imagine the order of the event cards makes every game different and helps with replayability. Overall, it is oddly satisfying when you have the ideal card to thwart your opponent's strategy and crush their hopes and dreams. The mechanics of a round are centered around action dice. At first I wondered if the dice would limit my strategy, but I didn't really feel that way. Each player starts with a certain amount of dice, and fortunately, the Shadow player gets more dice to aid in the hunt for the ring. Throughout the game, you can earn more dice if you introduce new characters, like the glorious Saruman or stupid head Aragorn, and each side of the dice allows you to do something different. The character side allows special character actions, like moving the Fellowship or attacking with leaders. The army side allows for movement of or attacking of armies. Mustering allows you to sway nations to war, as well as recruit reinforcements. And the event side lets you draw or play an event card. Each player also has a special side. The Shadow player has the Eye of Sauron, which helps them hunt the ring bearers. The Free People player has the Will of the West, which unfortunately allows them to cheat by choosing whatever side they want. The dice add a factor of luck to the game, which can be frustrating when you don't get what you want, but this muddles the unpredictability of plans in general, so I was fine with it. Like this video. Battles are an essential part of the game. An interesting element is, unlike other games where major battles may change location game to game, this game tends to focus on the same geographical locations every time. This does make sense thematically, but I do question the replayability of the game given that the major battles will likely always occur in the same spots. When a battle round starts, each player has the chance to play a combat card. At that point, they compete by rolling dice. Now, I'll admit that I don't love the luck this brings into the game. I'd rather crush the Free Peoples with my overwhelming strength, but it's not as annoying as Risk. However, it is annoying when the Free Peoples retreat into a siege and I have to slowly pick them off and cook up more recruits. But it was satisfying when I finally killed Gandalf the White in my first game. Overall, I found the battles fairly well balanced with surprises that could change the game. I also thematically felt frustration when the Free Peoples did a lot better than they ideally should have. This game is very thematic and satisfies the desire to enter Middle-earth on a large scale. It feels like Lord of the Rings with real risks that can actually change the ultimate story. I do question its replayability because of some of the aspects I mentioned, specifically the game kind of going similar routes every time. But whenever I want to enter Middle-earth, I will remember War of the Ring. If you've played this game, I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, especially as I'm a new player. I would love to know what you feel about replayability and just different aspects that you learn about this game as you play it more. I would love to hear those insights. I'd also love suggestions on what I should play next. If you haven't already, like this video and check me out on Patreon if you want to support the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.